quick
I
comments.
talked to Mari. I was taking care of that.
He brought it
I
up, and
know.
I couldn't remember what, nothing's been said
It
about
didn't happen. It didn't happen. It wasn't work.
Obviously it did, but.
Are we ready? Edwina? Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see you folks here in the audience. Thank you for coming. We will start the meeting. May I have call the meeting to order? And we will start with the oath of offices. And first, I would like to have Pat Elliott from Ward 1 step up to the podium for your oath of office. Nancy Gibbs will be giving the oath.
Raise your right hand. I, Pat Elliott,
I, Pat Elliott,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
to support the Constitution
to support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and of the state of Minnesota
and of the state of Minnesota
and the Charter
and the Charter
and the ordinances of the city of Richfield,
and the ordinances of the city of Richfield,
and to discharge faithfully
and to discharge faithfully
the duties devolving upon me
the duties devolving upon me
as City Council Member, Ward 1
as City Council Member, Ward 1
of the city of Richfield,
of the city of
to
Richfield,
the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to serve. And for next, oath of office of City Council Member Edwina Garcia, Ward 2.
Put my glasses on this.
Okay, good.
I, Edwina Garcia,
I, Edwina Garcia,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
to support the Constitution
to support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and of the state of Minnesota
and of the state of Minnesota
and the Charter
and the Charter
and ordinances
and
of
ordinances
the city of
of the
Richfield,
city of Richfield,
and to discharge faithfully
and to discharge faithfully
the duties devolving upon me
the duties devolving upon me
as City Council Member,
as City Council Member,
Ward 2
Ward 2
of the city of Richfield,
of the city of Richfield,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability. Thank you.
Thank you, Edwina. And next, the oath of office of City Council Member Tom Fitzhenry, Ward 3.
I, Tom Fitzhenry,
I, Tom Fitzhenry,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
to support the Constitution
to support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and of the state of Minnesota
and of the state of Minnesota
and the Charter
and the Charter
and ordinances of the city of Richfield,
and ordinances of the city of
and
Richfield,
to discharge faithfully
and to discharge faithfully
the duties devolving upon me
the duties devolving upon me
as City Council Member, Ward 3
as City Council Member, Ward 3
of the city of Richfield,
of the city of Richfield,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations.
And thank you, and I want to thank these council members for their service already, too. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all of you, and I look forward to another few years here together working. Thank you very much. May I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Elliott,
Here.
Councilmember Garcia, Councilmember Fitzhenry,
Here,
Councilmember Sandal.
Here.
Mayor Gotel.
Here. We have no one for the open forum. Would I ask everybody to please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I would ask for the approval of the minutes of the special city council work session of December 11th, 2012, and the regular city council meeting of December 11th, 2012.
Mayor, I have an amendment to make on one of them.
Please.
On the regular city council meeting on December 12, 2012, there's just a correction. It said that I talked about it says reach across America. It should be wreath across America.
wreaths, yeah.
So that's the only amendment I
Okay,
have.
with that amendment, may I have a second?
Second.
Any other conversation? All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. We have a special recognition here in the presentations tonight, and I want to thank past City Council Member Fred Rogie for coming here tonight. I would like to come up and present him with this plaque from the city. Would you join me, please? And first of all, let me say thank you for your past work that you provided at the city council and all the time that you've spent doing a lot of diligent work in your service, and we really wanted to say how much we appreciate you. But we wanted you never to forget us, so another plaque for the wall, Fred. To Fred Rogie, in appreciation of your outstanding contributions and dedicated service to the city of Richfield as a council member, presented January 2005 to December 2012, presented to the City of Richfield Council this 8th day of January 2013.
Thank you so much.
Very much deserved. Would you like to say a few words?
Good, thanks. I would say a couple of words. I was sitting back there trying to write something down of what I might want to say. I guess I first of all, I wanted to say that I really appreciated the chance or the opportunity to make a difference in Richfield. Lived here for a long time. I've been in 4 different houses in Richfield, and I'm glad I did it. It was a learning experience, and I think everybody should try it if they can get there. And I've learned so much in the last 8 years, and I was thinking about, when I was driving over here tonight, about the things that I've seen change, where this building is one of them. I actually was on a committee, a task force, to find out if we should even build one, and the minute I got involved in that, it was quite obvious that it needed to be built. And it's a fine building, and I think everybody should be proud of it. We also did the maintenance facility, and got that finally done, and that was a great idea to get it done. Things like the O'Reilly's hasn't been built yet, but they've bought the property. They're hopefully going to go ahead, being involved in that. The LA Fitness and Menards, especially Menards, with the help of John Stark, kind of changing the philosophy of what we were doing on 77th Street to make Menards wanted to build a bigger building, and the cooperation that made that happen was unbelievable. Also, the property maintenance things that I ran for is one of the issues I ran for to begin with my first term. We got some things changed, and we now have some teeth in some of the things. We want to make sure that people are improving the properties, their homes, their apartments. So I think we did a good job. And what I want to do as I leave here, I want to just say thanks to a lot of people, specifically, and I apologize if I don't name everybody. The Chief of Police is not here tonight. He would be one. Nancy Gibbs, where's Nancy? She was here. Did she leave? There she is. So friendly. When I had questions about voting and stuff like that, she was always there. Other issues too, but just super. And I appreciate the relationship that we created there. Thank you. Chris Regis, obviously I had a lot of talks with him about budgets. I learned a lot. And he was always there, and he always made it so I could understand it. So thank you, Chris. John Stark, for when I was talking about Menards, I really think you were one of the people that really made the Menards project happen. So I appreciate that effort, and all the other efforts too. But sometimes, you know, you just want to see something happen, and that it got done. So Mike Eastling, learned a lot about public works. And when I would get phone calls from residents that were upset about something, I always tried to get a hold of you, and you always got it solved, so thanks. And Steve, I hope we have a friendship for the rest of our lives. While we disagreed on numerous issues, he was always level-headed with me. He told me his point of view. He gave me some guidance. Most of the time I took it. But no, just super to work with you, Steve. We have the best city manager in the state of Minnesota, bar none. And one person, I don't know how much accolades she gets, but Cheryl Krumholtz. Cheryl made it so easy on me for getting the information I needed to get, or if I needed copies of something that she had to go back and dig through archives, I'm sure. Cheryl, you made my job a lot easier, and thank you. I really appreciate the effort you had over the last 8 years. So with that, I'm going to get out of here so you can continue your meeting. But thank you for this, this plaque. Again, like I said, I wish my parents were able to see this. My son and my daughter were.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yes, excellent. Well, with that, I have another presentation, and this is one I always love giving. It's the award of the Financial Reporting Achievement, and I guess, Chris, if you didn't get it every year, we would wonder what was going on. But would you please join me up at the podium here? You know, this isn't actually an easy award to get, and there are a lot of cities that don't get this. Their financial folks don't do the kinds of work that we do at the city to make sure that a first-ring suburb gets here where they're supposed to be. And it's thanks to the staff here and the leadership, and especially to Chris, that every year we have this great accolade to give about the financial wherewithal of our own city. A lot of cities are not there right now. They're really struggling. But because of the creativity of the staff here, we do this every year. The award of Financial Reporting Achievement to Chris Regis, Finance Manager, City of Richfield, Minnesota. The award of Financial Reporting Achievement is presented by the Government Finance Officers Association to the individuals designated as instrumental to their government unit achieving a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. A Certificate of Achievement is presented to those government units whose annual financial reports are judged to adhere to the program standards and represent the highest award in government financial reporting. Executive Director Jeff Emmer, on November 26, 2012. Thank you for your great work and service to the city. We really appreciate it. Well, next item on our agenda is council discussion, and hats off to Hometown Hits. Can I start at this end? Councilmember Elliott? I am.
Okay. I have nothing other than to thank Fred for the service he offered the city council, and sincerely welcome Edwina to the city council. She brings a wealth of experience and background both at the municipal level and the state level, and I think it's going to benefit all of us on the city council moving forward. So I really appreciate and really like having you here. So welcome.
Thank you.
Edwina?
Well, there's a lot of things I need to say. I want to thank my family and the good folks that helped me in my campaign. And I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not even going to say John B. Ostad because I didn't want to mention names. But as we were leaving our study session, I noticed that the Human Rights Commission was meeting. And I thought to myself, here Richfield's got boards, they've got task forces, and they have commissions. And all of these are folks that are part of the community. They are community, and they bring their talent, they bring their time, they bring their ideas, they bring whatever discipline that they have to offer to benefit our city and our community. And the city council relies on them for some advice. And there's no way that the city could function the way it does without these volunteers. And I know that we all appreciate their diligence and their hard work, and I'm proud to be a part of the team, not only with the council and the staff, but with these volunteers that represent all of us. Thank you.
Nice. Nice, thank you. That is very nice. Now, we don't say that we appreciate our commissioners and task force enough. You're right.
And thanks for the applause, John.
Councilmember Sandal.
Thank you. I just wanted to bring it to the public's attention that there will be an open house next week on Tuesday, January the 15th, from 4 to 7 at the Woodlake Nature Center. And the topic will be the Lakes at Lindale Connectivity Plan. We've done some walking around the area, and we've got a consultant hired to how do we make that area more walkable and more user-friendly for the business owners, the patrons of the businesses, for the Richfield residents that want to be there and walk around. So if you're interested, you should come and get your input in. So that was what, and I am certainly happy to have all of our new council members back on board. Thank you. Yeah.
Councilmember Fitzhenry.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Got a couple items. As I mentioned earlier, we had the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon event on December 15th, and we placed over 1,000 wreaths out there at Fort Snelling Cemetery. There were a lot of people showing up. It keeps growing every year, and it's really a worthwhile event. So next year, if you'd wish to sponsor a wreath, we'll make that available to you. But I would encourage you to attend, because you'll learn a lot out there about the history we have out there. This year, we placed the wreaths on the Civil War. And so, because there are people out there that never get flowers or wreaths because there's nobody left. And so we took time just to look at the name that we placed the wreath on. It was just amazing. And then some of the kids that were out there actually did research on that name, see how much they could find. So it was really a learning experience and really moving. One of the other items too is snow plowing. I kept getting good comments again this year. Hats off to our snow plow people. They were out quicker than anybody, because as I started driving around, I come by and my street's plowed, and I go into Minneapolis, of course, sliding around again. And so hats off to them. They got on it very quick. And the other thing I wanted to mention is the knock with the issue at the airport is not over. As far as we're concerned, it may have in the paper said that it's not going to happen in that, but as your representative and as the other representatives in the city, we're going to work with Edina, educate them so they don't end up throwing, I guess, us under the bus.
Yep.
During the event and that, and along with Minneapolis and that, and come to an understanding so everybody understands what this RNAV really is. I think we probably didn't have enough information out to the public so they understood. But it became real clear after they didn't vote to do the Richfield side that we're not going to get a change in Richfield, but we are not going to give up. We're still going to meet with the MAC people. We're still going to suggest things, and hopefully FAA can get us in the queue again, and we can get that resolved. So.
Good. Councilmember Garcia.
Oh, one of the things that I forgot to mention was that, I have been a student of the city council for the past, year and a half. And I'm really pleased to be here, and I'm pleased that my seatmate will be Pat Elliott, because I really have admired them. They've done a lot of work. They really are really good representatives of, and that's exactly what we need. So I'm pleased and proud to be part of this body.
Thank you.
Thanks. And I have a very mundane thing to bring up. I've had about 4 or 5 comments now, and I just want to reiterate this to City Manager, regarding our microphones out in the audience. People are still not necessarily hearing our microphones unless we're right up on them again. And I had the advantage today to go to the inauguration of the commissioners at the county, and they could stand back and they were picked up. And I'm not sure what it is with our system, and I know some of this was moved from the others, but I know they've got something to work with, and it's working. And I was sitting back in the audience there, and I didn't have that problem. But yeah, and it's not just people who are older; it's other people who are saying that they're not really always hearing in here. And I just know that this system isn't quite something; it's not quite right. So can we look into that again, just to make sure? I mean, we got a brand new, beautiful city hall. The last thing I want is for people not to hear us out in the audience.
Of course.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Is there council approval of the agenda as it stands?
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor, members of City Council. Now for those in the audience and those at home, I'm going to read the consent calendar. That consent calendar contains several separate items which are acted upon by the City Council in one motion. Once the consent calendar has been approved, the individual items and the recommended actions will also have been approved, and no further action on those items will be necessary. Tonight we have several items on the consent calendar. Most are beginning of the year housekeeping issues.
Item A is consideration of approval of designating the Assistant City Manager or available Department Director as acting City Manager in 2013 in the event the City Manager is absent from the city. Item B is consideration of approval of resolution regarding City Council member attendance at City Council meetings for 2013. Item C is consideration of approval of resolution designating the Richfield Sun Current as the official newspaper for the City of Richfield for 2013. Item D is consideration of approval of resolutions designating the official depositories, including approval of collateral for the City of Richfield for 2013. Item E is consideration of approval of resolution authorizing the use of city credit cards by city employees otherwise authorized to make purchases on behalf of the city. Item F is consideration of approval of resolution establishing the city's public purpose expenditure policy for the year 2013. Item G is consideration of approval of resolution authorizing a subdivision waiver for 6416 16th Avenue South into 2 single-family lots. Item H is consideration of approval of a statement of commitment supporting a grant application to the National Endowment for the Arts for the Lindale Gardens Town Center project through the Springboard for the Arts. Item I is consideration of approval of complete streets policy as recommended by the Transportation Commission. And finally, item J, consideration of approval of a resolution authorizing the execution of documents related to the sale of 3 revenue notes issued by the city for the benefit of Academy of Holy Angels to Home Federal Bank. And I just want to say, for those at home who don't have the benefit of knowing that, those are not being financed by the City of Richfield. They're simply, we're kind of like a conduit using our name, and there's no financial obligation on the city's part for those. And that concludes tonight's consent calendar.
I'll move the calendar.
Second.
Other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Councilmember? You know what, this is not part of a public forum, but I'm sure that staff would stay after and talk to you about that, or you could go over and talk to Mr. Stark, he would talk to you about that?
But I live next door and the trees are hanging way over.
Okay, you could take that up at this, okay, I'm sure we'll address that. Thank you. Councilmember Sandal, I believe you have the next 2 items.
And that is 7, right?
Yeah, remarked.
Okay, this is a consideration of work proposals from H.R. Green for the preliminary engineering and coordination services for Portland Avenue between 67th and 77th Streets and 66th Street between 16th Avenue and Xerxes. And it's consistent with our city council direction and the city's comprehensive plan to have staff working with Hennepin County towards a program to reconstruct the balance of the county roads within the city of Richfield. And both 66th Street and Portland Avenue are city roads. In 2012, the city and county were awarded federal grants for the reconstruction of Portland Avenue and 66th Street to be used in 2015 and 2016 respectively. And the city of Richfield was awarded federal funds for the reconstruction of Portland Avenue from 67th to 77th Street and will be the lead agency for preliminary design, final design, and construction. And city staff is recommending that we hire the company H.R. Green, Inc. in order to stay on schedule for reconstruction and enter into the exhaustive public involvement and preliminary design process prior to the final design. In 66th Street, Hennepin County was awarded federal funds for the reconstruction of that street from 16th Avenue all the way across to Xerxes. And the county will be the lead agency in that preliminary design, final construction, and final design. And again, staff is recommending that H.R. Green be hired as an extension of city staff to aid in the public involvement and preliminary design processes. And this work would include a visioning process for the corridors involved and to identify who the stakeholders are, attending and preparing the stakeholder meetings and preliminary design feedback, and oversight of Hennepin County's traffic study. And the city uses a qualification-based selection system for procuring engineering services such as transportation, water treatment, et cetera. And every 5 years, city staff invites engineering, surveying, and right-of-way consultants to submit proposals featuring their qualifications in the various service areas. And city staff reviews the proposals and selects firms to be included in the pool when they decide who they'd like to work with on these projects. And they have submitted, in this case, H.R. Green is the city engineering's is in the pool and is an experienced engineering firm. They've submitted proposals to provide for the preliminary engineering services for both Portland and 66th Street, and have performed similar work for the city and the Met Council on environmental services on 75th and 76th Streets, the Metro Sewer project that went all the way across the city down on 75th and 76th. And with that, the estimated cost for Portland Avenue proposal is $363,000. It's funded using municipal state aid funds, which is the gasoline tax. And the total estimated cost for the 66th Street proposal work is $148,000. And again, that will be using MSA funds. So I will go ahead and move that we approve the hiring of H.R. Green, Inc. to provide the preliminary engineering services for Portland Avenue reconstruction at a cost not to exceed $363,000, and also to approve the hiring of H.R. Green to provide for the project coordination services for the 66th Street project, and again, a cost not to exceed $148,000.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Staff, any comments? Okay.
I guess I would like to say one thing. It's a very important function that this is going to be performed. We're really taking a look at remodeling these streets. We're going to take a look at the look and the feel and the function of these streets, and some could change fairly dramatically. So it's important work that they're going to help us with.
Well, and it's going to be real important for the citizens to come out when we have the open public
Absolutely.
hearings for these, because these are pretty impactful streets. Councilmember.
And I think, like Mike said, is we'd had a work session with representatives from HR Green, and it indicated that there's a recognition, particularly on 66th Street, of 4 or 5 different zones, actually, but there's going to be a lot of neighborhood participation and citizen participation in putting that plan together. So it's not just going to be an engineer putting it together and putting it, they're going to involve the
Yep.
community with those plans. So.
Again, there'll be lots of open houses. Please look for that and on the website. All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Councilmember, you have the next item.
Okay, this is our council liaison appointments for 2013 to the various metropolitan agencies and city commissions. And each year we, the various city council members volunteer and get selected to be the representative from the city of Richfield to all of these different groups. And I'm not sure, Mayor, you've probably got more input in terms of what various people want than I do, since I think you were the contact point.
Yeah, well, and I think this will be
Yeah.
more of an open conversation.
so-
First, on the metro cities, actually, the entire council is on here, so that I suspect that will be as well. League of Minnesota Cities.
Except that obviously
It won't be Fred,
Fred
it'll be
Rogie is
Edwina.
no longer there, so it'd be Edwina Garcia.
Yep. So, and Metro Cities has an agenda that we all get regular basis. I do sometimes attend those meetings, and I've testified on behalf of the city for Metro Cities at the legislature, as has the city manager. League of Minnesota Cities, I am the rep, but at different times, you're my backup, Councilmember Sandal, but at different times, we've also accepted other council members to go to that, and also the city manager at times. So that's okay, we'll leave that. After speaking with other council members, Councilmember Fitzhenry, we would like to leave you on the Noise Oversight Committee. We think you do the best job there. So we would like that not to change. Transportation,
And I'm assuming Pam Dimitrenko would remain as the
Yes.
alternate.
I'm sure then that's
Yeah.
more the city. Transportation Commission, Sue, you have indicated that you would like to stay on that.
I would.
And what about alternate? I had not discussed that with you, Councilmember Fitzhenry.
I still don't mind being an alternate.
Okay. We have I-35W Solutions Alliance. We
And the-
have Councilmember Sandal, you've indicated you'd like to stay there, and at this time, Pat Elliott, you are the alternate?
Right, and I want to make a pledge to Sue that when she can't make it, I've been conflicted out every time she's been able to attend, but I will do better in the upcoming year.
Well, you know that I'm the chair of that body, so that if you show up, you have to run the meetings.
I know, that's probably the reason I conflict out, right?
Yeah. Okay. And I'm sure Mike Giesling will be staying on that. And then the 494 corridor again, Sue Sandal, you are the liaison to that, and Pat Elliott, you are the alternate for that.
Right.
Jeff Pearson is our staff person. On the MCWC and and people might wonder what that is. That's the stormwater pollution, the water districts.
Watershed. Yeah.
Watershed districts. And Pat Elliott and myself have been working with the Director of Public Works, Mike Eastling, on this. Currently, I don't think that anybody else wanted to see a change in that. Nobody wants to go out to Deep Haven in the middle of the night like we do, Pat.
And be last on the agenda.
On the Planning Commission, after some discussion with a couple of council members, they've decided that there will be a swap there. And for the Planning Commission, Edwina Garcia will be the liaison on that, and Pat will be the alternate for that as well. Of course, these are all just assigned to folks. Other council members can go to any of these meetings, and through the year, if there's a need be, we can even switch these. But at this time, this is just the assignments. Community Services Commission. This was liaison council member from council member Rogi's time. Edwina, are you willing to step up for
Yes.
that position?
Be glad to.
Okay. And Pat, do you want to remain as
Sure.
the alternate for that? Okay. The Advisory Board of Health, I am the liaison. I'd like to keep that, especially through the Stew Town work that we're doing. And Tom, you are my alternate. I make
That's
most of those meetings. Human Rights Commission. Is that up for discussion at all?
I think I was going to stay on that, and then Edwina's going to step in as the alternate.
Edwina? Okay, Edwina, you are the alternate. Okay, I will make that change. Garcia. The Friendship Commission, I know that, Pat, you had asked if I would be willing to look into stepping into that.
Correct.
Possibly, and I will take that. And then, Sue, do you still want to remain the
That's fine unless
alternate?
someone else wants it,
Mhm.
yeah.
I am currently also the liaison to the Arts Commission, which, and so you're my alternate. And I know you have the same passion I do.
Mhm.
And I know evening meetings are difficult for you, so if you don't mind, I'll stay in
That's
that
fine, yeah.
position. Okay, we no longer have the Property Excellence Task Force, so I think if that would come back up again, we would assign that, but at this time, I think we can delete that. We have the Richfield Community Human Services Planning Council. I'm currently the representative on that. However, I rarely get an invitation to meet with those folks. The FOWL Board, I am currently the representative to that, and Councilmember Rogi was my alternative. I'm wondering who would like to step up. That's a 4:30 evening meeting. So anybody who would step up to an alternate?
I'd be glad to help.
Okay.
Oh.
Rena? The Southwest Cable Commission, we have usually, our city manager, Steve Devich, has gone there. Fred Rogi has been the representative, and Sue Sandal has been the alternate. I've asked if Pat Elliott would step into that role to fill Fred Rogi's shoes.
Sure.
Okay, appreciate that. I am the liaison to the Historical Society at this time, unless anybody wants that, I am okay with that. And then I also...
I would be interested in being an alternate.
Would you? Okay.
Yes,
All
that
right,
would be
great.
good.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Sue, I would put you down there. So- And then on the discussion about the Richfield School District, I sometimes already attend those meetings, and Pat has had some conflict in getting there, so I would take on his role as being the liaison, and he would be my alternate at this time.
Would work.
Is that all I think that's all of them.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
I can be the alternate to the Richfield Community Human Services
Oh.
Planning Council.
that would be great. Thank you, Edwina.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
I have all of those down, and I'm sure Cheryl has taken very good notes. So I would move all of those volunteers and selections.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I make just one quick
Please.
comment? I would be remiss in not suggesting that when I do get to meetings or when I've been attending, it's nice to see them work. It's nice to see how well they come together and pay attention to what they're charged with, what their commission is charged with doing, and the enjoyment they seem to take in doing it. I get pleasure out of just being there and watching them work together. And it's nice to see that they really, really have ties into the community and they enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah, and I want to mention that this Saturday, we're going to be doing interviews for the commissions, and it's still not too late for people who want to apply. And it's not a huge commitment. Many of these commissions, some of them don't even meet every single month, but many of them do, but it's only a couple of hours a month. And, you know, if you can go to some of the public hearings or public meetings from those, that's great, but you're not required to have to make every single attendance of every meeting. And it really adds a lot of insight from the residents' perspective into the city, and that's what we really need and we really look for. And many of those suggestions that are brought up, and those are the brainchild of people who've seen something someplace else that come up and bubble up through our city, and that makes us very progressive. So I encourage you, if you look at some of those commissions, please, and just try it out and see if it's something you want to do. There's nothing wrong with trying this out for a year or two and seeing if a commission is something that you want to be on, something you have a passion about. It's like the Arts Commission. We actually appreciate people who are not in the arts, but appreciate the arts, because they have a perspective that we need in the city. So it's not about being an expert in any of these fields. It's about caring about your city.
And if I can, Your Honor, one of the things that I have observed over the years as we've done reappointments to various commissions is that we have a policy of 2 terms and maybe 3 terms, but only if there's no one else applying. And all of the people that we have appointed to commissions, they don't want to leave their commissions. They really like what they do.
Yeah.
So I think that's something you might discover, that you would really enjoy doing this, because we see that over and over again.
Well, you really see how the city works, too. It's
Yeah,
a
you
education.
learn a lot.
It is. The next item agenda is a discussion regarding the council attendance of the 2013 National League of Cities Conference. I took this item, according to state statute, the governing body of cities and school districts must adopt a policy that controls out-of-state travel for elected officials. The policy was adopted by the City Council in November 2005 and stipulates the City Council must approve in advance by motion attendance of out-of-state conferences. So this was the same thing for the Boston Conference. This time, I am actually serving on the National League of Cities Economic Development Committee for the National League of Cities, and I would like to attend this. We did not send anyone to Boston, and I believe that we probably have an opening to go, but for those who would commit, I would ask them to make a real commitment if they would like to go.
Oh, so you didn't, I didn't know you didn't go.
I was not able to
okay,
rearrange my schedule when the other council members were not able to
Okay, all right.
at the last minute.
Mayor, I would suggest that we probably send our best person, which is the mayor, to both the conferences in 2013.
Okay.
If your schedule permits, that's.
Yeah, my schedule
great for
permits
me.
at this time for March, for sure, if I know in advance enough. I also might recommend, as city manager has not been to one of the conferences in a while, if he would have a notion of coming to the March conference this year.
Madam Mayor, I could certainly take a look at that and see if I could do that. You're right, I really haven't gone anywhere for quite a while, and it's good to make those contacts.
It is, and at times we have some really good ideas. There's a
Yeah.
lot of innovation going on with different things going on right now, so. Okay, so at that time, I would make a motion to designate the attendance of the March 19th to 13th, 2013 National League of Cities Congressional Congress and the November 13th, 16th, 2013 National League of Cities Congress of Cities Conference for at least the mayor and at one of these, the city manager.
Second.
And at any point, if council members would like to join me, let me know.
I'll second, or I guess third it.
Yeah.
Third it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
We have sometimes sent 2 members.
Yes, I know, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying, if other
yeah.
council members would like to go, those. The next item is consideration of designation of the mayor pro tem. Each year, the city council designates a council member to serve as the mayor pro tem. This is in case I can't be at a meeting or traveling to a conference or other things of that sort. It's really nice to know that there's somebody who's going to actually step in and sign all that paperwork and come and run a meeting now and then. And I appreciate the work that you have done in the past. Councilmember Fitzhenry has done this past year. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So it's necessary for me to designate a mayor pro tem to ensure the continuation of the city operations during my absence. And at this time, I would like to put forward Councilmember Sue Sandall.
Thank
Also
you.
move. Second.
Oh.
Move,
Okay.
second.
Okay. Okay, so by a motion of the city council, I will designate as mayor pro tem for 2013, Councilmember Sue Sandall. All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Motion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, we'll enjoy our liaison together. It was good with everybody, and it's kind of gone the round robin, so I think it's time that we had you back around. And at this time, I think we have city manager's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. I really don't have a specific report, other than just to remind folks that we will have a meeting with our legislators on Monday, the 14th of January, and talk about some of the legislative priorities that we're looking for. And, you know, to that end, I've got a kind of an agenda of things that I saw from staff perspective I'll be emailing out to you tomorrow. And to the extent that you have some specific ideas that you want to talk about, and we could kind of put together ahead of time, or just at least have the idea listed. If you'd send them to me, email them to me, or call Cheryl with them, we could put that together and probably email it out to our legislators ahead of time, so they could kind of know what kind of things we're talking about.
And this is at 6:30 on Monday, the 14th, and it's a public meeting. So
Yes.
folks the general public can come to hear us talk about our legislative agenda with the legislators
Yes.
who attend.
A question, will we also be meeting, is Randy Johnson invited to this meeting or at a different
We
meeting?
invited Randy, and we also invited Steve Elkin from the Met Council. Randy's not able to; he's out of the area, and and Steve Elkin's indicated he has another meeting, but he would try to make it.
Okay, but maybe we can arrange to see them at a different
Oh,
time. I think
sure.
they'd both
And
be
and
important.
it's actually with Commissioner Johnson and with Steve Elkin from the Met Council, it is a lot more flexible meeting with them.
Yeah, we meet with them regularly. Claims and payroll.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Seeing no other business, I'll call the meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Appreciate it. Welcome aboard.